It takes a lot of effort to kind of rediscover your mojo. What we're looking to do is fast track that and give you the support to be able to find the people, find the careers and find the opportunities to be able to succeed in the next chapter of your lives. My name's Joe Davis and I'm co-founder of MOJOE. So I come from a footballing background. My dad was a professional footballer. My brother was also and still is a professional footballer. So my career path organically unfolded. Never really had a conscious decision to make around what I wanted to do within my life almost. Joined an academy, Port Vale Academy at the age of 8. Managed to establish myself in the first team and make a number of games at a young age. Then went out on loan to Luton Town. And then off the back of that was fortunate enough to get a move to Leicester City, who had just won promotion to the Premier League. Yeah, and that was when I went on loan to Fleetwood, played probably my most amount of games at Fleetwood, and then probably made the decision, which many say you shouldn't do, is going back to Port Vale where I began my career, and didn't work out as I expected. And it was in that moment that I decided to start looking outside of the footballing bubble and try to look at what I wanted to do in phase 2 of my life. So studied a university degree in sports writing and broadcasting, and as I was frozen out at Port Vale, decided to walk away and pursue that dream. Quickly realised that it probably wasn't for me. So I went through that stage of coming back to square one and then having the symptoms of a retiring athlete that so many people have to go through in terms of financial worries, identity loss. Went through that period of transition and over the last 5 to 6 years managed to find my feet in digital and creative roles where I set up my own creative agency, helping professional athletes set up and launch their own businesses. So was operating in quite a niche space. Quickly realised that I was only really supporting the more entrepreneurial athlete. However, really wanted to come back and help the Joe who was lost for 12 months post-transition and help them rediscover their mojo. That really brings us to where we are today in terms of trying to really revolutionise the landscape of athlete transition. Lots of athletes fall into their next chapter rather than make a real conscious decision of what that next chapter is. A lot of coaching positions, a lot of scouting positions are thrown at you in those early days of transition. And it's easy to jump at those, but if you're able to zoom out and really identify whether your skill sets are aligned to those positions, you're able to really control and own your future rather than have to dive into the first thing that's presented to you. What we do is take you on that journey to understand what that looks like, understand you as an individual away from the athlete, and then really narrow down your career paths. When we do that, we're able to connect you with people who have trodden the path that you would like to go down, receive the support and the resources that can fast track your development and get you to where you need to be. So many athletes struggle with their transition because they aren't able to step away from that bubble that they're in their sporting environment and really analyse who they are as a person, understand what they're passionate about, what their values are. And they're the questions that we ask these athletes so that we can really point them in the right direction. It takes a lot of effort to kind of rediscover your mojo, and what we're looking to do is fast track that and give you the support to be able to find the people, find the careers and find the opportunities to be able to succeed in the next chapter of your lives. What makes us unique at MOJOE is we're able to bring all athletes at all different stages of their journey into one centralised space and give them access to mentorship. We provide education within the platform, so whether that's through resources, through content, through digital courses, through in-person or online events. And that is a kind of vehicle to develop the individual on a personal level, away from and in parallel with their sporting aspirations. So we're not looking to discourage that. We want them to go and achieve as much as they possibly can, but knowing in the background that they have something to fall into should they look to retire at any point. Some athletes that come into the platform will be looking for parallel opportunities to earn more money and bring in more revenue streams alongside their sport. So the opportunities that we will offer will allow them to do that, whether that's through speaking engagements, whether that's through one-off projects, whether that's through working with brands. So by building an ecosystem of partners and service providers and bringing in like-minded athletes and mentors, ultimately we're creating a digital dressing room which keeps people within one space. And having been an athlete myself, I know the importance of being part of a team and how difficult that is to really replicate when those playing days are over. We want to enable them to build the foundations for a really long and fulfilling second career.